Everyone loves a good top 10 video, so I decided to give you my list of my top 5 top 10s in the fragrance community, so let's have a look. At number 5, it was Jeremy Fraghead's famous video, Top 10 Fragrances That Attractive German Women with Big Boobs Will Like. And winning that one, of course, it was Dior Sauvage Very Cool Intense Eau de Parfum Sport. At number 4, it's got to be Max Fruity with a top 10 layering blends. The winner of that one, of course, was his blend of Frederic Malle's Portrait of a Lady with Chanel Boy, which he calls Portrait of a Lady Boy. At number 3, it was Alex Elliott with his top 10 macho frags you don't have the balls to wear. Topping out that list, it was his bottle of 1947 Man's Man by Ted Lapidus. At number 2, it's Steve from Iridescence with his top 10 fragrances my wife doesn't like but Carlos does. And at number 1, it was my own list, top 10 niche oud summer panty droppers. Who can forget that one? So now into my video on hyped up fragrances. Hi everyone, so we've all heard about hyped up fragrances in the fragrance community. From time to time, fragrances get to the point where a lot of fragrance reviewers are mentioning them in top 10s or general YouTube fragrance review videos. So examples of that kind of thing would be maybe a few years back, Midnight in Paris by Van Cleef & Arpels. More recently, we've had Invictus Aqua, that's getting a lot of hype from people, and particularly perhaps because it's apparently been discontinued. So as soon as that happens, it was the same with Midnight in Paris, the hype begins. Also, perhaps Mont Blanc Individual has had a lot of consistent not hyper hype, but a steady level of hype over the years. It's getting a little bit harder to get. I think they have discontinued it, and in some cases these fragrances can be really good, but probably I would say in the case of Invictus Aqua and Mont Blanc Individual, I don't see what all the fuss is about. They seem pretty average fragrances, quite nice but nothing special. So I thought, why not give a video to everyone on the fragrances I would like to hype, ones that I think are really, really good fragrances, not the ones that no one's ever mentioned before, but that don't seem to get a lot of hype in the fragrance community, that if I could have more power over these things, I think these ones are worthy of some hype. So here we go, the first one. Some of these you've heard about on my videos before, but some more than others, so there should be some new ones for everyone. First one I've never mentioned before, and this is Nenuco Agua de Colonia. Some of us may have seen videos where people talk about a Spanish cologne that's used to splash on babies that smells a lot like Neroli Portofino, and I think this is it. I stumbled across it online and it was a ridiculous price for 240ml. I think it was about $8.99 delivered. It's really, really nice. The opening is more of a kind of lemon sherbet kind of smell that I get on this one. But as it dries down and in the air, it is very, very similar to Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford for an incredible fraction of the price. Longevity isn't amazing, but for the price, obviously you can buy litres and litres of this and spray it with reckless abandon, which is what I intend to do. So I think this is a really, really excellent fragrance. Great for just splashing on all over yourself in summer seasons. Great big sprayer there. And it has a lovely, lovely aura about it. So you can spray it on your clothes, spray it on your shirt on really hot days when you might not really feel like wearing any fragrance, but one that's very transparent. Agua de Colonia from Nenuco is a fantastic fragrance that is deserving of some hype, I think, in the Fragcom. Next up then, we've got a much darker, richer fragrance, and that's Lolita Lempicka Midnight Au Masculin. This fragrance, again, I think it has been discontinued. It's a flanker to the well-known Lolita Lempicka Au Masculin, and like that one, it has a notable licorice accord in there. And this one is just a deeper, richer, darker version of that. The main accords I get are vetiver and licorice mixed to a very, very good effect. A little bit sweet, a little bit almost of a barbershop Jean-Paul Gaultier La Malle smell, but with this really strong licorice, nighttime, almost gothic element, but very, very easy to wear, I think, in the nighttime. It's not, when I say gothic, I don't mean like Black Orchid from Tom Ford. There's nothing weird about it, but it's got a dark, sexy, sweet smell that I really, really like. So Lolita Lempicka Au Masculin Midnight. It's got that discontinued hype factor about it, and I really recommend it if you can pick it up for a reasonable, cheap price. Don't go spending loads and loads on that one, but I really, really like that fragrance. Next up is going to be one that you've heard me mention quite often. This is Goss from Laboratory Perfumes, but I seem to be the only reviewer who's ever showed it on camera, so I'm going to continue hyping it because I think it's worth it. I didn't get it free or anything, paid full price myself to get this one. It's a really, really close clone of Virgin Island Water by Creed, and it only costs £60 here in the UK. I know people in the USA who have it. Not sure how easy it is to get there, but I know you can get it over in the States too if you look around. Price is amazing. The smell is great, just like Virgin Island Water. It's got lime, coconut, and maybe a little bit of a rum accord in there, but mainly kind of fresh, zesty lime and coconut, a tropical smell. Lasts for ages, performance is excellent, and extremely similar, if not identical, to Virgin Island Water by Creed. Next up on Mr. Smelly's hype train then, it's going to be one that I've only mentioned once in a top 10 summer video, and this is Pomelo Paradis from Agua de Colonia. They're famous for their fresh, realistic citrus scents, and this could be the best of the bunch. Pomelo smells just like grapefruit to any normal person, and I'm definitely the same. It smells of really nice, incredibly vibrant, zesty grapefruit. I think there's blackcurrant in there too, and I think cedarwood in the base. So it has got more to it than just the smell of grapefruit, which probably wouldn't last that long, but it hangs on to that smell for ages, and the dry down is excellent. Claire from the Smurfy Girly channel, who you've seen in a lot of my videos, wears this one tons. She's just bought a new bottle. As you can see, this one's getting low, and I really get really good projection, longevity, performance on this one from her. So it's an excellent fragrance, and I desperately want a bottle. I don't have my own yet, but I'm still going to hype it up because I've smelt it on another person, and that gives me a better idea in a way of how it performs. It is superb stuff. So Agua de Colonia, Pomelo Paradis. Other reviewers have mentioned it, but it doesn't have a huge hype train going yet. It deserves one. Next up, Milan Ascend Him. I've mentioned this maybe once or twice in other videos. It was in my top 10 80s video because it first came out in 1989, and now they've re-released it. So Milan Ascend Him is very much a barbershop fragrance. It's only £50 for 100 mils here in the UK, or just under £50, which is incredible value for money. I'm not sure if you can get it in other parts of the world very easily, but you should be able to if there was any justice. It's really, really lovely if you like your barbershop, slightly retro smells, but it's not really dated. It's not super dated. So in here we've got things like rosemary, we've got lavender, we've got a lot of herbal notes, we've got in the top petitgrain, lemon, bergamot, the usual suspects, but it's not all about citrus freshness. It's more of a kind of warm, manly barbershop freshness. So if you like things like Rive Gauche Prom by Yves Saint Laurent, this one is really comparable. Oh, Houbigant Fougère Royale reminds me of that one a lot, but it's got its own little thing going on. Really, really nice, herbal, fresh, slightly retro, but somehow it's got enough sweetness because there's cinnamon and cloves in there. It's got enough sweetness not to smell very dated or unlikable. It's absolutely beautiful and competes for me with high-end niche barbershop Fougère style fragrances. Check that one out and get a sample or a bottle if you possibly can. I really recommend it. Next up then, it's all going a bit barbershop at the moment because my next one is Le Barbier du Tangier, and this is from the house of MDCI Parfums. So this is another barbershop fragrance from that house, and it came in a little 12ml sample like this, which I got several of. They do really good deals on these on their website, and you can fit some decant sprayers actually on there if you just want to spray directly, but I guess you've got to have the right one. Anyway, I've decanted it into a bottle. The smell on this one is superb. There's pineapple in the opening and some of the usual type of suspects of citrus opening notes, but then we've got very nicely done oak moss, lavender, I think tonka bean, a lot of the usual barbershop fragrance suspects in there, but they're just so well blended in a really strong concentration that lasts for ages. It gives us vetiver. Very nice, woody, masculine, somewhat citric, barbershop fresh out of an old 50s barbershop, maybe in Morocco smell. You're going to feel like Humphrey Bogart when you wear this one, and that is a very good thing. A fantastic fragrance and gets almost no talk at all in the fragrance community, whereas Invasion Bar, everyone talks about that one. This one's newer, just as good to me. Finally, it's one that people who watch my channel a lot will be well aware of, my affection for this fragrance, and that's Agua de Colonia Essenza. We don't hear a lot about this one at all in the fragrance community. One or two other people have mentioned it favourably. Lania Smith did a great review years back that turned me onto it. And this is a superb citrus aromatic fragrance. It opens with grapefruit, bergamot, neroli, a lot of the usual citrus notes that we might expect. After that, there's something about it that makes it much more rich than the average citrus aromatic. There's rose, patchouli, there's musk, and there's oak moss, so it has a real depth and juiciness. Performance is outstanding on this fragrance. I get compliments actually on this one. I don't get a lot of compliments. This is one of the few fragrances that does get me compliments. You smell clean, fresh, well-groomed, masculine, and very likeable all day when you wear it. So Agua de Colonia Essenza, the best from the line in my opinion. I'm excited to try their new one, Colonia Pura, which is coming out soon, and I'll be trying to get a bottle and review it as soon as I can. But this one, in the meantime, definitely worthy of a hype train, and everyone who's interested in citrus aromatic fragrances should try this one. What do you think of my hype choices? Any others that I should be hyping up? And what do you think about the other ones I mentioned at the beginning of the video? Invictus Aqua, are they really worthy of hype? I don't know. So yeah, interested to hear your opinions as ever. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.